Hey YouTube, I'm Anthony.
I'm Monica.
And we're the Cooks.
I was going to do that.
That's at the end. Today we're going to try to answer the age-old question. The age-old question is, do opposites attract? Do opposites attract? All of these different dating websites, because I was talking to a friend of mine and we were talking about dating websites because she met her significant other, no, her boyfriend on a dating site. And she said that when she was filling out the questionnaire, they kept on asking all of these questions. And what dating sites do is they attempt to try to find out what you have in common. Most people, when you go out and you're looking for a person, you're looking for what do you have in common. But we ventured to ask the question, do opposites really attract? Or are you more attracted, or will you do better with someone that you have a lot of similarities with? The thing that made me start thinking about this is we had our date night the other night. And when we had our date night the other night, we went to
TGI Fridays.
TGI Fridays, because they had a burger that I wanted. And so when we went to TGI Fridays, I'm a man, so I had a burger and I had fries. My wife had, what did you have? It was like chicken
with
on
mushroom.
Top of some grass.
No,
with some
it was
sticks
spinach
and some wood and
broccoli.
Yeah. So
bell peppers.
So she had chicken with spinach and broccolis and bell pepper, and I had a burger and fries. Two totally opposite meals. When it comes to ice, my wife loves crushed ice. I hate crushed ice with a passion. I'm like, why am I drinking this and having to chew while I'm drinking my drink? Because a little crushed ice gets into my mouth. And so I like ice cubes. So we have a lot of things that make us, that are totally different about us. Total opposites. If you see us in a restaurant, you look at our meals, they're totally opposite. If you think about, I like coffee. She loves tea. To me, tea is watered down. I don't know. I love real food. I hate soup, because to me, I don't think you should be able to drink your food. She enjoys a good soup, a good vegetable soup. I'm like, what's the purpose of soup without meat in it? Opposites. But we have a lot of things that are in common.
Which count.
Because
those things that he just named, they really don't count.
They really don't count. They really don't count. They're important to me. I'd like for her to eat what I like, but
the important things is that those things are not going to make or break a marriage.
No.
The things that you need to have in common are the things that are going to build your marriage and make them strong.
Okay, so what are some of the things that we have in common?
We both love the Lord.
We both love the Lord. And so when you start looking at somebody out there and you say, okay, is this somebody that's going to be for me? The small things that you have opposites don't really matter. You just need to make sure that the major things you have in common. If you love the Lord, does she love the Lord?
And that's a big one.
That's the number one.
Yes. What else do we have in common that could make or break our marriage? We respect each other.
Yeah. And we look for respect from each other, and we're both caring of each other and other people.
Yes.
I mean, we talked about this the other night. We really like the people that we are. And when I say we like the people that we are not the kind of people that do things mean or maliciously to people. That's just not our nature. And we were talking about that, and we like the fact that we're not like that. We don't try.
We like us as a couple.
We like us as a couple, but we also like ourselves as individual people.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so, yeah. So, what else do you think we have in common?
Let me see.
Servitude.
I was going to say we love to entertain people.
We love to entertain people.
If you was going to put another word on it, it would be to serve people.
To serve people. And that is our genuine desire. We are both the kind of people that will stop everything that we're doing to try to lend a hand out to somebody.
Yeah.
to try to help somebody. We are not bragging on who we are. We're just telling you some of the things that we have in common that we think are important for a couple to have in common.
Because one thing about it is that last one, serving people and love to entertain. To really be honest with you, when we got married, he came from a big family. So he was used to fixing dinner for 20 people and having people over all the time. I wasn't like that. I actually didn't fight it when we got married, because you can fight like for instance, that servitude in your personality is really a good trait. But if I would have been so self-absorbed that I fought that and be like, no, you ain't inviting that person over to the house, you ain't doing this, that could be really bad. You have to choose the traits in each other that you want to nurture or you want to be more like. Because there's a lot of things about you that I really admire. And that's one of the big ones.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so YouTube family, you guys out there, when you think about the relationship that you're in, and when we developed this channel so that we could minister to married couples. That was the initial goal. But we're finding out, and we're receiving comments from a lot of single people, a lot of married people. But one of the things that I want you to ask yourself is, married people that are out there, take a look at your spouse. In one of the videos that we did, Monica said that a husband and a wife, the goal of a husband and a wife is to create the perfect picture of God, the perfect picture of God. And so take a look at your spouse and take a look at them and say, okay, well, these are the things that we have in common that are good things. And these are the things that we have that are opposites. And take a look at those traits and say, you know what? I really love the fact that Monica has patience. This is me speaking about my wife. I love the fact that you have patience to listen to people. When somebody's talking to Monica, she has the patience to sit there and just really be in tune with what they're saying. Me, not so much. I'm just being honest. And so what I've done is, throughout the years, I have watched her and learned from her and said, this is a trait that I admire. I love that about her. So because of that, I'm going to work on developing that trait in myself.
Yeah.
Monica said that when we got together, the servitude thing that she saw in me, she liked that, she admired that. And so because of that, now when we have people over and I'm making chicken and waffles, Monica is doing peach cobbler, because now she's gotten to the point where she enjoys the servitude of being able to serve and bless others. And so in the quest to be able to figure out whether or not opposites attract, yeah, they do. Because if you're opposites, take a look at that person. And here's one of the things that I know to be, as far as myself, and I've talked to a lot of different couples. When you ask the question, do opposites attract? If you're forming the perfect picture of God, if you take a look at your spouse, and I want some comments, I want you guys to give us some suggestions, some tips and things like that. But ask yourself, husbands, the things that you are the weakest in, take a look at your wife, because more than likely, those are the things that she's the strongest in. The things that you're the strongest in, a lot of times, those are the things that she's the weakest in, and those are the areas that you step up and step in.
And here's the thing. If we were the same, because God there are so many things about him. If we were the same, it would be boring. But not only that, when you notice the strong points in each other and you notice the weaker points in each other, you have to use them to your advantage. I.e., when we clean up the house, I'm a sanitizer.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
He is an organizer. So if we clean up together, he's putting everything where it belongs, and I'm going around sanitizing everything.
Okay, she is the bleach queen. Clorox, if you want somebody to promote your product, because when Monica finishes cleaning, literally, you can eat off the toilet. It is, oh my goodness, she's the bleach queen.
So with our finances, when we first got married, he handled the finances, but as we went along, we found out I'm stronger with the finances.
She is.
And he's not threatened that I handle all the bills
No.
and handle the money, because that just happens to be something that I like doing, and it's one of my strong points. So you can't just say, well, he's the man, he's going to do this. You know, I'm the woman, I'm going to do this. God has given you gifts, and your gifts complement each other, because where he's weak, I'm strong, and where I'm weak, he's strong.
And so, do opposites attract? They probably do. They probably do. But no matter what, if this is you, this is her, and you are designed to fit together to be able to make that perfect picture of God. And so start looking for those things. Stop looking at the small things. Stop looking at the fact of, I like ice cubes and she likes crushed ice. Stop looking at the fact that I like buffalo wings fried and breaded and she would prefer her wings to be baked and grilled. Stop looking at the small things that make you opposites and start taking a look at yourselves and say, if we're opposites, what are the things that truly count and how can we nurture those things?
Yes.
I love to cook. My wife loves to iron. I hate to iron. She loves it. And she's a great cook, but I enjoy cooking because it relaxes me. And so take a look at your relationship, take a look at your spouse and ask those questions. Take a look at yourself and say, okay, what are some of my weaknesses? Okay, some of my weaknesses. Fellas, I'm going to tell you, if you have a praying wife, and she's somebody that'll go into that prayer closet, and you, because of whatever reason, work or thought processes or not having the time, if you're blessed to have a praying wife, look at that and nurture that and say, hey, you know what? Because my wife, when I looked at her and I said, man, I have a praying wife, and she prays more than I do. That's something that I'm looking at her and I'm saying, okay, that's what I aspire to be. I try to take on that trait. But instead of looking at her and saying, well, you know, she's spending all of this time with the Lord, or some men get upset when their wives go to church. Instead of that, look at her and say, hey, baby, thank you so much for those prayers. Thank you. Because how many of y'all out there wouldn't be where you at if it wasn't for a praying grandmother or a praying mama? Okay, well, fortunately, if you blessed with a praying wife or a wife that goes to church, fellas, nurture that. Nurture that. Because when I realized how much she prays, I said, okay. And I made her a prayer room. I'm like, if you're going to do it, I'm going to create a place for you to be able to do it. And so, in closing, stop taking a look at the small things that make you different. Look at the big things that make you different and admire the things that are good and work towards those things that are good. Take a look at the things that you have in common, and those things that you have in common, build on those things together.
Yes.
If you think about it, whether you're opposites or you're just alike, if you work on those things together, you can only get better together. Yeah?
Amen.
One of the things that we always promote, that we always talk about, especially in videos like this, is over here you have one person, and over there you have one person. But if you take that one person over here and that one person over there and you put them together, they form that cross. They form what they're supposed to be. God brought you and that beautiful bride that is sitting across from you or next to you or in the other room or downstairs, brought that person to use for a specific person, for you to be able to show people that marriage works, love works, and a beautiful married couple is a perfect picture of God. And so remember, like we always say, 1 + 1 should always equal 1. Please comment, subscribe, tell people about us, and tell us about some of the things that you have in common and some of the things that make you different. Fellas, go down and go to our Facebook page, The Cooks. Like our page, tell people about our page, and go on there and tell us some of the things that you have in common and some of the things that you have that are different. Go into our comment section down at the bottom. Tell us some of the things that you look at your wife and you say, I love that trait about her, and it is something that I am weak in, and it's something that I aspire to be able to have. So YouTube, thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you for so much for checking us out. And y'all have a good one. God bless. Yeah.
Bye.